Hey guys, I'm going to try doing these vlog things because I just got a new mount for my iPhone. Right now, I am sitting in a parking lot on campus waiting for my car to warm up a little bit so I can actually drive. I kind of want to do these things sort of regularly if I can. If not, then I don't know. But it's like -3 degrees right now. My car's a mess. I am a mess. I'm going to my friend's house to go install my buddy's light bar on his bug eye with him, and I just kind of feel like doing one of these videos. So let's go. I don't know if this camera mount is gonna work. It's literally just holding my iPhone up right now, so production value not so great, but I think that we can deal with it. All right, so I guess I kind of want to talk about right now what it's like to drive my car. If you're watching this, you should know what I have, but it's a version 4 STI swapped 98 Impreza RS. Everything from a version 4 as far as drivetrain, anything that moves is from a version 4 STI. So it's essentially like having a version 4 STI from the factory to drive. Driving this car around town is actually pretty sweet. Since you have 8,000 revs to play with, you can really just drive it like a grandma whenever you want. If it's in a small parking lot like this or around a college campus, which I do live on. So that's always fun. I do get a lot of looks from people, students and all that. And I do get people who like to mess with my car too, because I have to park in all these public parking lots. So that's always fun. I try not to drive like, a douchebag, but every now and then, let's be honest, it's 11 o'clock at night, no one's on the streets, you want to do a wide open throttle pull, and you do that, and I guess some people don't really like that. So you can drive around town like a grandma. It's a STI 5-speed, not the 6 speeds like the newer ones got. Older STIs had the 5 speeds. They're more stronger. They're stronger than the WRX 5 speeds, which is very nice, knowing that I'm not going to just blow it up if I decide to launch it a little bit. And you can hear right now my exhaust, which is an HKS full turbo back 3-inch exhaust, HKS downpipe, non-catted, to a carbon TI catback. Makes a lovely sound. I think it's quiet when you're not on it, at least quiet enough, and then it's pretty loud when you get into it, which is pretty sweet too. So right now I'm just kind of cruising at 25 in third gear at 2,000 RPM. Like, you wouldn't even think that it's a 300 horsepower, forged internal sodium filled exhaust valves, STI essentially. Also, right now it's extremely snowy in Kalamazoo. You can see these. I don't know if you can see some of these snow piles that just washed out. Yeah, it looks like it's washed out. But there's snow piles that are just crazy big. I mean, they're taller than the car is. I'll post a picture of one in one of the videos if you can see it. I'm also kind of testing this mount out. I have no idea if it's going to be good. It was $4 on Amazon. So, like I said before, production value. Since I'm living in a college town, driving a car like mine around, I guess I've heard people say that it attracts quite a bit of attention. I commonly post on Reddit, on our Subaru, as well as on my university's, Western Michigan's Reddit. And I've had people, when I comment on something, yeah, they'll click on my history and see that I posted my car on our Subaru, and they're like, "Oh, hey man, nice car. I see it around campus all the time." And I don't drive my car or build my car to make other people happy, and you shouldn't either. But it's always kind of nice to get that recognition from people that they notice you, I guess, or they see you and they say that they like it. Also, since again it is a college town, if I drive off of campus anywhere, at least like near campus, there's this one main road that is pretty much where all of the campus housing is. It's like where all the frats are, it's where a bunch of apartments are, all that stuff. Every single time I drive down one of those roads, I will have someone that tries to race me in their V6 Charger with an exhaust, or, a Grand Prix that has a, tailpipe hanging on the ground. Always happens, every single time, no question. Also, going back to the snow, I do have snow tires on my car. I have Firestone Winter Forces, which they're all right. Blizzaks I prefer. I have different cars with Blizzaks on them, and they are much nicer. But I do a lot of highway driving to and from home, which is about 2 hours each way. So the harder compounds of the Winter Force are actually kind of nice because I don't have to buy tires every season. Speaking of highway driving, if I'm driving on the highway, I can either get 30 miles a gallon or I can get 17, depending on how my right foot feels on the time of day. If I cruise doing 70, I can do 30 miles a gallon easy. If I'm, doing 95 the entire way with the AC on, doing pulls with people, I'll get about 20. And that's nice too with this motor because even though it has the short gears, has a 4.44 final drive gear ratio, you have all that RPM to play with, and when you're sitting at a high RPM, you're not even burning that much gas, if you're not in boost at least. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. I feel a little weird. It's the first vlog thing I've ever done. I'd like to make this a regular thing if people like it or if people watch it. I don't know if they will, but I guess we'll see. That bouncing the back, it's a bunch of beer bottles that I need to return. My car is a mess right now. I've been kind of living in it for the past week or so. I've been running around the east and west side of Michigan, and I just got a new roommate, and I don't like being around him very much. That's not lie. I don't mind being around him, but some things he did were kind of strange yesterday. He brought a girl into the room at about noon and just started eating her face, and noon? I don't know, maybe I'm just jealous. The one thing I will say I don't like about the car, and I know why I don't like it, is the clutch. When it's very cold out, because I still have the stock RS master cylinder, and it's pushing a slave cylinder in a clutch that's made to hold, 300 foot-pounds of torque, and the master cylinder for the RS was made, to push, I don't know, like 160, something like that. And so when it's cold, you can really feel the difference between that. And once it gets all warmed up, it's kind of eases in. So my solution is that eventually I'm gonna get, and eventually I mean like soon, I'm gonna get a WRX master cylinder, so it's displacing the proper amount of fluid to be able to hold that amount of torque. So this weekend is Snowdrift. Unfortunately, I will not be driving due to money issues, but I am going up with a few of my buddies. I'll be riding in my buddy's 04 STI, and so I'm sure I'll have videos of all that stuff for you guys if you're interested. I don't know. My videos last year were kind of lame, but it was the first year I had gone, so I was still kind of just figuring out how to do everything. It's going to be fun, and I actually have this mount now, so I can mount my, I'm recording everything with an iPhone. I think I said like 6 times now, but I can mount my iPhone and do some sort of, cooler angle videos, I suppose. I also don't know, like, what kind of videos I should do. Like, I like kind of like these driving things, but I need things to talk about. So if you guys want to, like, comment and tell me what to talk about, I'd love to give my opinion on the matter. I think I'm a very opinionated person, and sometimes that's a bad thing. But I guess if you agree with me, it could also be a good thing. I mean, I can talk about cars all day if you want me to. So just let me know. Yeah, let's just leave a comment, I guess, about it. I'm probably gonna be nitpicking on driving things until I can actually figure out a flow for these kinds of videos. So if this is really obnoxious, I am sorry. I really don't ramble on about stupid stuff like this. I'm just trying to figure out what makes a good vlog video. I guess I could tell you about my week, but it's extremely boring. Really, my weeks are super boring. I'm going to school for electrical and computer engineering, and so pretty much during the week, all I do is work on homework and go to classes. It is a Wednesday right now, but I didn't have school on Monday because of Martin Luther King Day, so no classes then, and I'm leaving on Thursday for Snowdrift, so it's my last day, so it's kind of like a weekend, I suppose. But during the weeks, man, I just work. I don't mind it. I love doing the work sometimes. Physics is killing me right now. But during the weekends, it's nice. All of my buddies have Subarus here. All of them have carless stuff. I don't have time to mess with people who don't like cars nowadays, I guess. That guy might sound like a little bit ignorant, but like I don't mean it like that. It's just that tons of people who are in college and, you know, my age, all they want to do is party and stuff, which, you know, I'm for that. Just time and place. I'd much rather do car things, you know, go to my buddy's house to work on a light bar than, you know, sit in a sticky basement and drink beer. I used to be like that. I used to love that stuff, but no, so much more fulfillment from doing stuff that's car related. There's a nice GTI. No, it's not a GTI. It's a TDI. Fancy. Kind of like those new GTIs, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, these potholes. I think since the last time I made a video, I've also had I put stainless steel lines on, new Stop Tech brake pads in the front, and new rear brakes as well. Nothing really fancy because I couldn't find anything because my brake setup in the rear is very strange. It's not. I have the Subaru 4-pots up front, and then I have vented rears in the back, which is the stock version 4 STI setup, but everybody thinks they came with 4 and 2 pots, which is not the case. So I had to piece together my brake parts. So rear rotors came from an old Turbo Legacy, and the brake pads came from a 1999 Legacy GT. So that was kind of interesting to do, I suppose. I really like the brake feel with the stainless lines. I think before I was not a very big believer of stainless lines doing a whole lot for brake feel, and I don't know if it's because my pads were so worn down that I had to replace them, or I added the stainless lines, but I love the brake pedal feel in this car now. I still do need to get an STI master cylinder for the brakes, because again, I'm running the stock RS one still, and I think that'll give me a little bit more feel, as well as a, what do they call it? I'm having a brain fart right now. Master cylinder brace, to stop the flex between the firewall and all that, and I think it should be a great setup after that. Alright guys, I'm about to turn into my buddy's place here. I really hope that this was kind of interesting, and I really want to make more of these videos. So I guess, yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and stay doing car stuff. I don't really have a sign-off phrase, but a little sideways here. Oh, Anthony's here too. Alright guys, later.